Welcome back to our special edition of College Football 82. I'm Tom Mees in company with Paul McGuire. And Paul, it's a beautiful day for football in Tokyo, Japan at Olympic Stadium, 48 degrees, fair skies, not much wind, but we have a game that on paper looks like a mismatch, frankly, Clemson and Wake Forest.
Yeah, Clemson, they are a 22-point favorite in this game, but I think it's, everybody gets over here in the excitement. Anything can happen. It could be a closer game than that.
Let's take a look at some of the key performers, like number 3 for Clemson, Homer Jordan.
Homer Jordan is just a very agile player. He's the kind of guy that you like at quarterback for the system because he can run, he can throw. Not that tall. I think that's one of the drawbacks, only is 6 foot.
Well, Mike Epley has come in this year to spell Homer Jordan because of several injuries. He's had a fine year as well.
Now, Epley is the bigger of the two quarterbacks. He's 6'2", and Epley, he's going to have a chance. He's a sophomore. He's going to be taking over this team next year. The problems with the team are terrible because of the probation and everything. We'll get into that later on, but here's the man that's going to inherit this football team.
All right, here's a guy that can inherit just about anything he wants. William Perry, the nose guard, well over 300 pounds.
Well, William Perry is a sophomore. They have him at 310. Now, he fluctuates in the summertime and getting ready to play anywhere between 310 and 350. He is one of the best third down players in college football, and I'll explain that later on.
Okay, now let's look at the other side of the coin for Wake Forest. They're starting quarterback Gary Schofield, a junior.
Gary Schofield, 6'2", 215 pounds. This is a fine football player. He's got a strong arm, and he's a mobile young man, and he's got a lot of football to play it. He could be a factor in this football game.
And in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, they're mighty excited about this freshman running back, Michael Ramser.
Well, Michael Ramser has rushed for over 850-some-odd yards, averaging 4 yards a carry. He's only 179 pounds, not your real big back. He's a freshman. He may grow a little bit. He'll get bigger on the weight program, but he's a tough runner.
And now let's take a look at the two head coaches in today's game. There's Al Groh of Wake Forest coming into today's game with a record of 3-7. His career record at Wake Forest, 7-14.
Questionable for Al Groh. You hate to say that, but people want to see a winner right now. He's a smart coach. He's a young coach. I just hope they give him a chance to see what he can really do.
Well, they're trying to get revenge over Clemson because Danny Ford and his Clemson Tigers beat Wake Forest last year, 82-24. And there's Danny Ford, and well, he's had a successful career and season, but he has a lot of trouble ahead of him.
Yeah, he does. I did the spring game at Clemson, and he sat up in a press box. He doesn't go down on the field. This young man is a great coach. He knows what he can get out of his players, and he plays a lot of his players. I think he's an excellent coach, and the future is bright for Danny Ford. Clemson, it's dark.
We cannot ignore perhaps the biggest story in this game. It happened just a few days ago, Paul, as something that had been rumored for weeks and months. Clemson University was put on probation for at least 2 years, and they had their scholarship limits cut down severely.
You know, the one thing I don't like about when they put a team on probation, why can't they wait, Tommy, until the end of the season is over with, and then put the team on probation? Instead of right in the middle of a season, here's a team that's 8-1-1.
Right.
Why disrupt everything now? You can wait 2 weeks and get it over with. They do have a problem, and when you start taking away your scholarship people, it just kills your recruiting program. And the question is, what is going to happen to Clemson in the future years? And that's going to be a problem.
Only time will tell. The toss of the coin has been held at midfield. We're all set for the kickoff of the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl. Paul McGuire and I will be back with the play-by-play and the opening kickoff in just a moment. Action from Olympic Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. There you see the Clemson Tigers in their orange outfits. Number 40, Steve Griffin, back to receive the kickoff of Harry Newsom. So Wake Forest in their black and gold outfits will be kicking off. Going from left to right, there's Harry Newsom, number 18, for the Demon Deacons. And the Clemson Tigers hoping to close out their season with a 9-1-1 record, and this is their final game. They'll be going from right to left in those all-orange uniforms with a white tiger claw on the helmet, the very distinctive logo of Clemson University. The crowd is up and ready. 80,000, a beautiful day for football in Tokyo, Japan. And, Paul, I think this game could be closer than a lot of people think.
Yeah, once you get two teams that are, in a foreign country, or they go away from home in kind of a bowl game, they have fun, they enjoy themselves, and they forget a little bit about football. I think Clemson has something to prove here, though, because of the probation that they're on.
Yes, they do, and of course Wake Forest wants to avenge that 82-24 shellacking they took at the hands of Clemson in Winston-Salem last season. All right, we're underway. Newsom moves under the ball, and it is a short kick, a squib kick, bouncing off one of the Clemson players. Wake Forest is after it. Who's got that football underneath that pile? So Wake Forest trying something tricky right off the bat with a squib kick. We'll have to wait and see until the official signals as to which team ended up with a football. There's a portion of the over 80,000 in Olympic Stadium. This is a big promotion, the Mirage Bowl, sponsored by the Mitsubishi Corporation. They pay for both teams to come over to Japan, and they show them around a good time during the week and get them ready for the football game. There's Danny Ford.
He's kind of wondering what's going on. Are they going to do some stuff, some tricky stuff right off the bat? And Al Groth, the head coach of Wake Forest, he really needs this football game. Not so much to win it, but a great showing. He can't get blown out.
All right, Clemson recovered that kickoff, and it's 1st and 10 for the Clemson Tigers. And at their 30-yard line, the first handoff goes from quarterback Homer Jordan to Chuck McSwain over left tackle for 5 yards, be 2nd and 5.
McSwain is a strong back, and he hits the hole very well. And the one thing about Clemson, they will power you out of the hole.
Clemson University, the quarterback is Homer Jordan, the running backs Jeff McCall and Chuck McSwain, the tight end number 81 K.D. Dunn, the offensive line Gary Brown, James Farr, Kerry Macero, Brian Butcher, and Bob Mayberry. 2nd and 5 for Clemson at their own 35-yard line, and the give once again is to McSwain. He runs the ball up the middle on a belly series for a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Great tackle by inside linebacker Hammond, number 87, Steve Hammond. Take a look at this. This is the way the inside linebackers are supposed to play it. You key the nose man, look at the guard, you see McSwain in the middle. Now take a look at him. Hammond's going to make the play right in the middle of the line. Good tackle.
3rd down and 3, and the next play is a bit of a bollock step one as Homer Jordan could not handle the snap from center. He recovers the football, but it's a loss of 2, and that'll bring up a punting situation for the Clemson Tigers. And the man who handles their punting, number 5, Dale Hatcher. Let's look at the fumble again.
Well, Homer Jordan never got the ball from the center. He pulled out a little bit too soon. 2 things could happen. Either he pulls out too soon or the center is late.
Here's the punt from Hatcher. It's taken in and fumbled at the 25-yard line. And Clemson has recovered the football. Jeff McCall made the recovery. We're going to take a look at that action again, hopefully, to see exactly what happened on the punt return. Darrell Norton was back there. Also back there was Farr. And let's take a look at the punt again.
And I believe Farr is the man that ends up getting the ball.
Yep, number 38 for Wake Forest University fumbled. That's Tommy Gregg, a flanker. He fumbled that punt, and Farr recovers it for Clemson University. So it is 1st and 10 for Clemson inside the Wake Forest 30-yard line, actually at the 27. No passing yet in this game, but hey, Homer Jordan is going to change that in a hurry. He's looking for McCall. He's got him, and McCall picks up the needed yardage for the 1st down to the 15-yard line.
One little play-action pass in the backfield. When you come out running the football, all of a sudden people forget about the pass play. Homer Jordan rolls to the left. Tough pass to throw, but he has McCall. Look at McCall is wide open. There is absolutely nobody around McCall. Finally, Green comes up and makes the play.
So it's 1st and 10 for Clemson, ball out at the Wake Forest 15-yard line, and the Tigers, the team that hardly needs any breaks given to them, have got one early on the fumbled punt, and they're going to try and capitalize. And the give is to the big running back, Chuck McSwain, the tailback, senior, 190 pounds, and McSwain picks up a couple of yards down to about, actually inside the 10-yard line.
McSwain, take a look at him, a strong back. And the one thing about it, when you watch him run, just watch his legs. They don't stop driving. He picks up an extra yard or 2 because his legs are still moving.
Actually, they give McSwain a gain of 5 yards on that play, all the way down to the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go for Clemson. The give is to the up back in the I formation, McCall. He'll gain a couple of yards on that play, stopped by a whole host of Wake Forest tacklers.
Steve Hammond again, number 87, the inside linebacker. This young man's a pretty good football player.
Hammond in on a couple of early tackles. There's Al Groh on the sidelines, head coach of Wake Forest. Of course, he's hoping now on this 3rd and 3 play to stop the 1st down and maybe hold Clemson University to just a field goal. Homer Jordan looking to throw. He's got some time now. He's going to keep the ball and run with it, and Jordan is nailed at about the 6-yard line. It'll be close to the 1st down. Jordan faking the pass, and he picks up around 3 yards down to the 6-yard line. And if he got that far, he'll be very close to the 1st down. There's a kid from Athens, Georgia, didn't play with the Dogs.
No, he didn't play with the Dogs, but he got himself a new car. Here, Homer Jordan goes out. He's taking a look. Both guys, it's supposed to be a quick pass to the outside. Both of his receivers are covered. He does a smart thing. He tucks the ball in and runs for it, but they're short about, maybe 6 or 8 inches. He told the coach, let's go for it.
Okay, so it is a 4th down play here early for Clemson University, and going for the first down and getting the first down is Chuck McSwain off right tackle, picking up 3 yards, down to the 3-yard line, and Clemson cheerleaders made the trip.
All right, here you've got 3 people bunched in the backfield. McSwain gets the ball. The play was designed to go off right tackle. He saw the opening right over the middle, right over the center. They just took the ball up the middle.
First and goal for the Clemson Tigers at the Wake Forest 3-yard line. Homer Jordan handing off to McCall. McCall runs it near the goal line. I don't believe he got in there, as the swarming defense of Wake Forest brings him down at about the 1.
Tommy, this is the thing I was talking about. This is power offense. Clemson just feels that they can dominate the line of scrimmage. They don't really have to pass the ball, so they'll blow you out at the line of scrimmage. Now, they put the ball on the 1-yard line. The question is, was he in or was he not in?
Actually, that was not McCall on that carry. That was number 27, Kevin Mack. Again, a full house backfield behind Homer Jordan. And the give is to Mack again, and Mack is in the end zone for the touchdown. So with 10:19 left to go in the first quarter, Clemson has taken a 6-0 lead. Homer Jordan is happy about the way things develop on that play.
All right, let's take a look at Mack. He just follows the 2 backs and the tight end into the end zone. That's Bubba Diggs, number 85, the tight end. Let's look at the ground play. You're going to see far in there. And that man on the ground, number 85, Bubba Diggs.
High snap on the extra point, and this will go awry. So the extra point is no good, and our score remains Clemson 6, Wake Forest nothing. That could come into play later on in this ball game. We'll be back with more action from the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl on ESPN's College Football 82 in just a moment. That scoring drive for Clemson University, 11 plays, 65 yards in total, elapsed time 4 minutes 41 seconds, with Kevin Mack going over from the 1-yard line to give Clemson a 6-0 lead. Remember, the extra point was missed, and that could be a big factor later in the game. There you see an aerial view of Olympic Stadium in Tokyo. 80,000 fans for the annual Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl. Donald Igwebuike is back to kick off for Clemson. We took a look at Doherty, one of the upbacks for Wake Forest. But receiving the ball and bringing it up is Young at about his own 5-yard line, and Young takes it over the 30 to the 31-yard line, where he's brought down hard there, and that's where Wake Forest will put the ball in play, first down and 10.
We're going to see the kickoff return. Now watch Young. This is an angle you're going to see from the receiver's end of it. Young is going to take the ball on the run. He'll stutter right here just a step, and then watch what he's looking at. He's looking for his blockers. He's looking for a hole. Anything that would give him that little break to take it all away. Nice return.
First and 10 for Wake Forest on their own 31-yard line, and on their first offensive play, it's a pitch out to Michael Ramser, the freshman. Rambles for 6 yards up to near the 37-yard line as Al Groh looks on from the sidelines. Your quarterback for Wake Forest, number 10, Gary Schofield. The running backs, Michael Ramser, Dan Doherty. The flanker, Tommy Gregg. The split end, number 3, David Richmond. The offensive line, Lee Vernon, Danny Morton, Mike Nessel, Ken McAllister, Bobby Morrison, and, of course, the tight end, number 93, Kevin Weiserek. It'll be 2nd down and 4, Paul, and a good pickup on first down for Wake Forest.
Yeah, it is. Ramser, just an excellent football player. Not very big, folks. He's a little bitty guy, 5'10", 179-pound freshman, but he's strong and he's durable.
And you mentioned prior to the ball game that he's already picked up over 800 yards on the ground this year. That's not too bad. All right, it is 2nd down and 4 for Wake Forest. The quarterback is Schofield. Doherty is now going in motion. But again, the pitch out is to the lone setback, Ramser, and Ramser is up over the 40-yard line. I think they're going to mark his progress right at the 40-yard line, and he should be at or near the first down marker.
And Danny Triplett, the left linebacker, take a look at number 82 on the right of your screen. Now watch what he does. He doesn't overrun the play, keeps the ball carrier in front of him, then turns back and makes the tackle. Gets the help from James Robinson, number 83.
Well, they're very precise in Japan, as we know, Paul, and they precisely said that Wake Forest about 3 inches short of the first down.
The home of the calculator.
All right, it'll be 3rd down and inches. Big play for Wake Forest. And look at Wake Forest helmets when you get a shot. On the left side of their traditional logo with the WF in gold, but they have Wake Forest spelled out in Japanese on the right side of their helmet. 3rd and inches. And And oh, there goes the tight end, big number 93. Offside a little bit. It'll be a legal motion against Wake Forest University. That's Kevin Weiserek. He'll be called for the 5-yard penalty.
This play, this play is designed to run to the left of your screen to the right of Wake Forest. And we don't see it, but the tight end Weiserek motion, when you have third and that much, I don't understand why you run that wide sweep anyway. Just get the quarterback underneath the center, tap the center, and go. You really don't have to tell anybody else what you're doing.
Usually a lot of teams will come up and they use the quick count and go right from that, and that way they hope to catch the defense a bit off guard. But instead it is a 3rd down and just over 5-yard situation now for the Demon Deacons at their own 35-yard line. And again, it's a pitch out, this time to the right side to Ramsey. Ramsey picking up 3-4 yards, and he's finally brought down by a whole host of Clemson players, including Edgar Pickett, who was in there, and also Joe Glenn.
Well, this play here was the same play they were going to run on 3rd and short yardage. They're not fooling anybody. You see Joe Glenn, number 53, is the man that comes in and makes the play. It's a little strange.
All right, the ball is marked short of the 40-yard line. It is at the 38. They still need over 2 yards, and Wake Forest is going for it here. Schofield back to pass, looking to the right side, and it is complete. He finds Ryan for the completion. Number 88, Tim Ryan, and that is the first down for Wake Forest. And he'll have that completion up near the 48-yard line.
All right, you just take a look at Schofield here. Take a look at this delivery. Perfect pass, right on the numbers, and the man that caught the ball, which you thought was Ryan, is actually David Richmond, number 3.
All right, thank you. It's, our broadcast position is a little far away, and it's tough to see those numbers sometime. 1st and 10 for Wake Forest, and their 48-yard line. Doherty gets the ball, and Joe Glenn is in on the tackle again. This time he stops Doherty for no gain. Junior out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Dan Doherty.
Well, they've only thrown one pass, Wake Forest, and completed it. Now the question is, do you go to the air? You got 2nd down and long. And I think Schofield should go to the air. That's the thing that's working. 2nd
down and 10. There you see Doherty setting up as a tight end of this formation. Schofield again throwing to that right side, and again he'll hit Richmond for 9 yards. I believe Richmond caught the ball just short of the 1st down marker. So it is a completed pass, and Schofield is 2 for 2 in the air.
It comes right back with the same play, Tommy, and I like this play calling. Run a play until they stop it. Don't get fancy. If they're going to give Richmond that much room and let him go down 9 yards and hook up, or 8 yards, whatever the case may be, keep coming back to it until they stop it and then go someplace else.
Just short of the 1st down inside Clemson territory is Wake Forest at the 43. The pitch out to Ramsey again. He's got Doherty in front. He uses Doherty's block as a screen, and Ramsey has the 1st down inside the 35, down to the 34-yard line. A gain of 7, and the Deacons on the march here, another 1st down.
Oh, I'll tell you, this Ramsey is some kind of Tim Childers, number 26, comes up and turns him to the outside. Doherty gets the block, but look at the feet movement on this young man. Ramsey just moves back to the inside. Remember, he's only 5'10", 179 pounds, but he can move.
There's Danny Ford, a concerned Clemson head coach on the sidelines. The Tigers coming in heavily favored with an 8-1-1 record. Schofield fakes it to Ramsey. He's got loads of time, and he's going for the long one. Complete to Richmond. He's out of bounds inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Wake Forest.
Well, Reggie Pleasant, number 29, is trying to cover Richmond. And the thing about it is, I said, here's the play action. They're faking to Ramsey in the backfield. Schofield, take a look at how well Richmond has Pleasant beat. Now, there's Kennard. He's not the man that's covering. Pleasant, number 29, comes into your picture. He's the guy that's supposed to be there. Kennard is their All-American safety and a super football player, Terry Kennard.
It is 1st and goal for Wake Forest at the 8-yard line. The give is to Ramsey up the middle. He surges inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from that point. An excellent surge, Paul, by the left side of that Wake Forest offensive line.
The left side doing a great job. That's Martin, and Nessel is the center. And Lee Vernon is the left tackle. And I'll tell you what they're doing. They're taking right to Clemson. They're only throwing the ball when they have to throw. Good picking the pass patterns. Schofield's doing a good job of calling plays.
So far, Ramsey's been the big man on the ground for Wake Forest, and he gets the call again. He's short of the goal line, stopped at about the 2-yard line. And Dan Benish, number 71. Dan Benish coming in there. He's a reserve left defensive tackle.
All right, you see Perry being double teamed. Now, Benish is going to come in backfield, number 71, and gets Ramser in there. Perry, you better double team big number 66, or else you're not going to move him out of there.
All right, we'll see if Wake Forest elects to keep it on the ground on this 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line, or if they elect to go to the air. Their running backs can catch the ball as well as run it very well. And here's an example as the 2-yard touchdown pass from Schofield to Dan Doherty. And Doherty carries the leather into the end zone, and right now we're tied up at 6-all.
Well, take a look at it. It's play action to Ramser. He's been doing all the work. And all of a sudden, when you do that, you're going to isolate the fullback on a linebacker. And that is the most difficult coverage in the world, because the linebacker, when he sees play action, he has to play run first. The fullback slips out behind him. Excellent call. That was a great drive.
It was. They drove that ball right down the field. They were stopped for a moment by a 5-yard penalty, but came right back and now have taken the lead as Newsom kicks the extra point. The score, Wake Forest 7, Clemson University 6 in the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl. We're still in the first quarter. We'll be back with more in just a moment. Tight end Bubba Diggs being assisted off the field, Paul. He was speared after he was tackled and out of bounds. That's an additional penalty against Wake Forest. We end up with Clemson having the ball 1st and 10 on the 38-yard line, or make that the 37-yard line of Wake Forest. And let's see what Homer Jordan and company do now. The backs are in the I formation. Clemson trailing in this game 7-6 in the first quarter, and the give is to Chuck McSwain. And McSwain gets outside, and he cuts back now and brings the ball down to the 29-yard line. He is just short of a first down.
McSwain's got quick feet, great agility. Watch the move he makes when he gets into the line. Green, number 41, is going to end up near the tackle, but he doesn't make it because McSwain trips up. Look at his feet. Now watch the move he's going to make back to the inside, waiting on a block, and he slips and falls. Nobody knocks him down.
I guess technically they'll give Green the tackle, but McSwain fell on his own. All right. It is 2nd down for Clemson. About 2 yards to go for the first down. This time the give is to the up back in the I formation. Jeff McCall, the fullback, and I believe he does have the yardage for the first down. Danny Ford looking on from the sidelines. Malcolm Hairston made the tackle for the Demon Deacons.
All right, just take a look at the inside linebacker, number 26, Malcolm Hairston. This is after the play. This is a little trap up the middle.
Okay, let's
just take a look. Don't worry about that circle. Let's take a look at the inside. There's a little trap up the middle, and Hairston is right in on a tackle, number 26.
Not only did they trap the Wake Forest defense, they trapped our artist, too, into believing that the I-back, the tailback, was going to get the ball. He did not. It is a first down for Clemson. There's a good look at number 32 for the Tigers, Jeff McCall, who picked up that last first down. The ball is resting on the Wake Forest 27-yard line. Clemson is well within field goal range now for either Igwebuike or Pauling. The backs again in the I formation. Homer Jordan, who led the Tigers to their national championship season in that thrilling Orange Bowl victory over Nebraska last year. Giving it off to McSwain again, and look at McSwain go inside the 15, inside the 10. He's out of bounds at the 8-yard line, 1st and goal.
Again, the man has quick feet, but the guy I want you to watch, take a look at number 81, Katie Dunn. He's the tight end. He's going to fall down right here. Now watch him get back up and get another block downfield. Excellent movement by the tight end. These people move the ball very well on the ground, and they only throw when they really believe they have to.
Well, Homer Jordan is known not so much as a passing quarterback as your classic drop-back passer, but he's known for a quarterback who can threaten the flanks and who hands off to some pretty good running backs as well, like McSwain again. He goes up the middle for 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal for Clemson on the 6-yard line. Tim Sally making the tackle here.
All right, here goes McSwain again. There isn't much of a hole. Tim Sally, number 84, you see him being blocked and also gets help on the inside. But Sally is the guy that really made the play.
Okay, it is 2nd down and goal inside the 7-yard line. Danny Ford looking on from the sidelines. Clemson head coach trying to rally his troops and come up with an excellent 9-1-1 record this season. Jordan rolling to his right. He's looking to throw. He's got plenty of time. He throws, and it is incomplete, out of bounds. The intended receiver on that play was Jeff Stockstill, the split end. And Stockstill could not keep his feet in bounds. As you see, some of the Clemson faithful made the long trek to Tokyo.
The thing about it is now, you got to look at Homer Jordan. He has the option on this. He's had 2 blockers in front of him on the runner pass. He sees that he cannot run the ball. Stockstill is there, but you've got to get at least 1 foot in bounds. He doesn't have control of the ball when he goes out of bounds. Excellent call by the official.
And the referee made that call, and now I believe, as we look at the score, 7-6 in favor of Wake Forest, because of a missed Clemson extra point, we're going to have the penalty marched off against the Clemson University Tigers, and it looks like it's going to be a 15-yarder, Paul, which will take the ball all the way back to the 22. A personal foul is the judgment against Clemson. So this personal foul, offense, second down. This is a big play for Wake Forest, and could help keep Clemson out of that end zone with a touchdown anyway. See if we can see the personal foul.
It's got to occur back at the line of scrimmage somewhere.
Somebody did something to someone a little bit out of the camera range. Okay, the ball is back to the 22-yard line. Jordan with a fake, and he'll throw over the middle, and it is complete to the big tight end, number 81, K.D. Dunn. Gain of 12 yards, back to the 10-yard line.
Clemson has some tight ends. K.D. Dunn, 6'3", 215. Bubba Diggs, 6'3", 220, who we saw go out of the game earlier. But when you got a big target like that, you like to go down the middle. You end up usually linebackers trying to cover tight ends, especially on play-action passes. The safeties are running out of there, and that's the man to throw to.
All right, it's third down, and still a goal-to-goal situation for Homer Jordan and the Clemson Tigers. Jordan rolling right. Now he's going to keep the ball, and he'll be dragged down, well short of the first down, dragged down at the 14-yard line. Well short of the goal line, I'm sorry.
This is the play I'm talking about 2 plays ago when Jordan had the option to run or pass. This time he's got the same option again. He's got his 2 backs out in front blocking for him. What happens, the receivers are covered. Good defense by Wake Forest. They come up and make the play.
So that'll set up a field goal situation with the ball resting on the Wake Forest 13-yard line. A 30-yard attempt, angled to the right for Bob Pauling. He's a junior, 6'2", 190 pounds. If he makes it, it'll put Clemson back into the lead. The snap down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. Our score from Olympic Stadium in Tokyo at the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl, Clemson University 9 and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons 7. We'll be back with still a minute 17. Well, we're going to stay right here with a minute 17 left in the first quarter. I thought we were going to break away, but apparently we are not. And we're going to keep it right here and tell you about some great college football bowl action coming up on ESPN. We are the network for the bowl games, like the Independence Bowl, starting December 11th. At 8 p.m. Eastern Time, Wisconsin and Kansas State. We'll have the Holiday Bowl, the California Bowl, the Tangerine Bowl with Boston College and Auburn. Paul, you'll be down there for that one. In Orlando, we'll have the Aloha Bowl, Maryland and Washington. The Blue Bonnet Bowl, Arkansas against Florida. We're also going to have the Rose Bowl for you on a delayed tape basis. Here's a look at our bowl lineup. Independence on the 11th, Holiday from San Diego on the 17th, California Bowl on the 18th, Tangerine Bowl the night of the 18th, Saturday night, Aloha Bowl Christmas Day, Liberty Bowl from Memphis on the 29th, Alabama against Illinois, Hall of Fame Bowl on the 31st, Blue Bonnet Bowl New Year's Eve night, and the Rose Bowl on January 4th. Quite a lineup of bowl games here for you on ESPN. And we're back live as Donald Igwebuike gets set to kick off for the Clemson Tigers, who are now in the lead, and his ball is taken in by Young at the 4-yard line. Young returning it up to the 21, 22-yard line. We have a fumble on the play, and the Clemson players think that they've recovered, and the official agrees. Clemson recovers. Tim Childers, I believe, recovered for Clemson, Paul, on the 22-yard line.
Another break. You cannot make mistakes against a team like Clemson. Remember, last year's #1 team in the nation. Take a look at it. Here's Young with the ball. He's got to get that ball tucked underneath his arm. He stumbles there, and he gets hit right underneath the shoulder pad. And the ball pops out. Childers gets the ball. Clemson, another golden opportunity.
And the Tigers, who just a moment ago put 3 points on the board, are seriously threatening to put another 6 on now. 1st and 10 from the 22 of Wake Forest. Homer Jordan looking for Frank Magwood. Oh, Magwood had the ball at the 1-yard line. Let it drop right out of his hand. Wide open on that play was Magwood.
Magwood is wide open on the play, and to think about a little play action in the backfield, Homer Jordan that comes out. Take a look at it. This is where you lose concentration on the ball. You have to have total concentration. He's looking at the ball, but he's also looking at the end zone. And when you take your eye off the ball, you drop the ball.
Don't worry about the end zone, Frank Magwood. It will always be there. That time the pass was dropped. Magwood, a very dangerous receiver. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Clemson at the Wake Forest 22. Homer Jordan rolling left, looking to throw over the middle, and it is complete for the touchdown. The tight end, K.D. Dunn. And with 1 minute left in the first quarter, Clemson has struck again, and they increase their lead to 15-7.
Well, take a look at it. He's using his tight end. This is the third time he's thrown to the tight ends. K.D. Dunn is open downfield in the end zone. Number 25, Ronnie Burgess, is there trying to help out. He can't make the play. You see him miss the tackle right there at the goal line. That was his man. He did not cover. K.D. Dunn, touchdown.
And the band playing Hold That Tiger. That's something that the Wake Forest football team has not been doing over the last couple of minutes, and it's cost them some points as Wake Forest is now in arrears to Clemson. Last score of 15-7. Bob Pauling is the man who does the place-kicking chores for the Clemson Tigers. There you take a look at the stadium in Tokyo, Paul. A beautiful day for football. 80,000 fans for the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl.
They'll turn out for sports. If you think about the NFL putting the team here,
I tell you what,
expenses would kill you.
It would. I guess a little bit of trouble getting the game on live in certain parts of the country as well. This game, of course, has started at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So the Clemson followers in South Carolina who wanted to listen to this game or watch it and stay up quite late. Now, this is an interesting information on the extra point. The whole Clemson team goes to 11. Now they're back where they should be.
Well, they've got a gadget play off of that where they center the ball across the field and they go for 2 points or for sometimes a fake field goal.
This time, though, they're just going for the conventional 1 point, and it's good. Our score, with under a minute to go in the first quarter of play, the Clemson Tigers have taken the lead over Wake Forest. Clemson University 16 and Wake Forest 7. We'll be back in a moment. Score with a minute to go in the first quarter of play from Tokyo in the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl, 16-7 in favor of Clemson. Donald Igwebuike is preparing to kick off again for the Tigers. Young is back to return once again for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. And he'll take Igwebuike's kick at the 10-yard line. Looks for room up the left side over the 20, and he is brought down rudely there at about the 23-yard line. And making the tackle for Clemson, big number 88 for the Clemson Tigers. And
this is Ramser they got back after.
Okay.
Well, after Young has dropped a couple of them, they put Ramser in. Just take a look at Ramser right here. He's just hesitant. He's trying to pick up some blocks and really doesn't get them. But it was a decent return.
Jeff Wells, we understand, made that tackle. All right, 1st and 10 for Wake Forest at the 23-yard line. Here's the pitch out to the freshman running back Ramser again. He stopped after a gain of about 1. Dan Benish, number 71. Big defensive tackle comes over to make the play. DeBane also in that area.
Well, Benish is getting the job done because you got to put, when you have to put 2 people on a guy like Perry that weighs 310 pounds, it's going to free up the tackles on either side.
Gain of 1 for Ramser. It'll be 2nd down to 9 for Wake Forest at their own 24-yard line. Deacons have to be stunned a bit by the turn of events, with Wake Forest putting 10 points on the board very quickly. The big play, a fumbled kickoff after a field goal. Here's a completed pass, although for negligible yardage. Schofield completing it to McCummings, and actually I guess I should get my abacus out. Cummings gained 8 yards on that play.
All right, take a look at it. He's 5 for 5. He's throwing the ball very well, Schofield, and he takes a shot in the backfield as he throws it. That was Pickett that hit him. But look at McCummings right there. Good extension, eye on the ball, and with one hand coming down, he holds on to the football.
It is 3rd down, just about a yard to go for Wake Forest. The ball is marked at the 32-yard line, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. Our score at the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl, Clemson 16, Wake Forest 7. We'll be back with the second quarter action in just a moment.
Box 8.
7 minutes, 15 seconds left to go in the second quarter of play. Wake Forest coming up with a big turnover. That pass interception by sophomore free safety Ronnie Burgess. 1st and 10 for the Deacons on their own 16-yard line. And on 1st down, Michael Ramser gets the calls. He has several times in this game. Goes over right tackle for a gain of about 6 yards up to the 21. Ramser is a much-used running back so far in this game.
Yeah, he is. Just take a look at, you can only go so far carrying Perry on your back. Watch big 66s in there. And when you try to carry the big man, you can't go too far.
All right, a gain of 6 for Ramser, 2nd down and 4. There's the aerial view of jam-packed Olympic Stadium in Tokyo. 80,000 fans on hand for this game between Wake Forest and Clemson. Schofield back to pass, got plenty of time, tries the safety valve after his fullback. That safety valve was shoved right back in his face by Clemson.
James Robinson, number 83, the left defensive tackle, like to batted the ball back in Schofield's face. Watch the big guy come up off the line of scrimmage. Schofield back to pass. You can't throw that short pass underneath unless you get it over the big man. There he is, James Robinson, 6'5", 275-pound senior. And you got Perry, 310-pound sophomore, and Scott, a 240-pound junior.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 4 situation as Schofield drops back to pass, and he's intending it for his tight end, Denfield. It falls well incomplete. Defending on that play for the Clemson Tigers, Chucky Richardson. Right linebacker, big boy too, 6'3", 215, and Wake Forest will have to punt.
The big defensive line Clemson has.
I'll tell you, how'd you like to eat at their training table? How'd that feel, huh?
Man. How about over there?
Yeah, those people in Tokyo never saw anything like that before. Harry Newsom back to punt. He's standing inside his own 15-yard line. Davis is back in single safety for the Clemson Tigers. Newsom gets off a high spiraling kick. Davis takes it in at his 36. He's looking for room on his right. He'll get a few yards. He brings it back to the 41-yard line. That's where Clemson will take over 1st and 10. I want to remind you about an excellent schedule of college basketball upcoming on ESPN. In fact, we think it's the best schedule of college basketball you'll see anywhere. Saturday, December 4th, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, a live doubleheader. First game, UCLA at Notre Dame from the Athletic and Convocation Center in South Bend, Indiana. And then we'll have the finals of the Wendy's Classic. That game coming to you at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. Live college basketball here on ESPN. Homer Jordan back in quarterback, replacing Mike Epley for Clemson. Jordan was out for just a couple series of play, and this time he is thrown for a loss by Danny Rocco, linebacker, and Jordan loses 2 yards back to the Clemson 39.
Well, the problem is that Jordan, when he's rolling out like that on a short rollout, your receivers better be open right now. If not, you're going to have to eat the ball, and that's what's been happening to Homer Jordan.
They'll bring up a 2nd down and 12 for the Clemson Tigers, coming into this game with an excellent 8-1-1 record, but we've all read the sad news if you're a Clemson fan and a fan of college football regarding the probation. They won't be going to any bowls for a couple of years at least. Jordan looking for his tight end, K.D. Dunn. He has it, and Dunn is over midfield into Wake Forest territory. And K.D. Dunn runs out of bounds after gaining 16 yards in a Clemson 1st down.
First of all, he was not his intended receiver, but the thing about K.D. Dunn, when you watch a man 6'3", 215 pounds, he did break himself into the open to help Homer Jordan. But after he catches the ball, the agility of a man that size, and that's something that the pros look at, but they're going to have to wait a couple of years before they get a hold of this young man because he's only a sophomore.
I like the way he looked the ball into his hands, made sure he had the ball before he started running upfield. 1st and 10 for Clemson, and the give is to Griffin, and Griffin is hit hard at about the 40-yard line, and he fumbles. Hammond is in there on the fumble recovery for Wake Forest, and another big turnover for the Deacons. They'll take over at their own 43-yard line as Griffin, the ball carrier, coughed it up.
Griffin coughs it up. Hoaxson, number 92, is the man that eventually ends up with the football, and he's back the other way. That ball has just popped out right there. Hampson is in there helping out on the tackle, along with Bollinger, number 67. Wake Forest gets another break.
5 minutes, 23 seconds left in the half. Clemson leads at 16-7. I'm Tom Mees with Paul McGuire. You're watching the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl from Tokyo, Japan. And there's that running back again, Michael Ramser. He gets the ball straight up the middle. And there's a look at the quarterback for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. And that would be Gary Schofield. There's a look at Denfield, the tight end, and some of the other members of the Wake Forest. Ryan. You may hear from him later on in this game.
They've got great receivers on both sides, and the one thing about it is that they're using their tight ends a little bit more, and that's one thing that you're seeing more of in the pros. Of course, San Diego with Cullen Winslow, but you take a look at the college ranks, they're using the tight end. He's open.
2nd down and 7. Schofield back to pass, looking for his split end, Richmond. He overshoots Richmond on the right sideline. David Richmond, 5'11" junior, 164 pounds. He's got a lot of speed.
Well, if he was 7'3", that time he wouldn't have caught the ball. That ball was thrown away. Take a look at Richmond. This makes the receiver sick, especially when you're hung out like that. But look at how far overthrown the ball is. Yeah, covering on the play was number 25 for Clemson.
Roster change?
There's a roster change.
We'll have to get that man's name a little bit later on. Meanwhile, 3rd and 7 at the Wake Forest 46, and Ramser is held to a gain, maybe a yard or two. It's called 2 yards, down to the 44. And, of course, some of the members of that Clemson defensive unit who have been on the field quite a lot. There's the guy, 300-pounder.
Is he ever?
And, he looks in shape. A lot of guys over 300 pounds carry a big pot belly around with them. This guy's in shape, and he's over 300 pounds. I'd hate to see him when he gets hungry. All right. Wake Forest is held to just a couple-yard gain, and they're going to have to punt again. Harry Newsome is in there, and hey, he drops the football. Will he be able to get it off? He does a nice job avoiding the rush, and yes, he does get the punt off. And it's a good one, a high spiral out of bounds, and there will be no return. I'm going to keep it right here as we try and figure out what happened on that play. It was a good snap. I think Newsome was looking upfield before he had the ball fall. You're a former punter.
Well, you get a little bit too relaxed back there in that punting position. You know the ball's going to be in the same spot all the time if you have a good center, and all of a sudden he just dropped the ball. But he did a good job avoiding the defender and getting the ball off. It wasn't a short kick, but at least he got it somewhere downfield.
All right, Clemson ball, 1st and 10. Homer Jordan in their quarterback. Eppley has only been in on one series of downs early in this quarter. And Jordan's going for the home run ball down the right side, and this ball is intercepted. Intercepted by Green of Wake Forest. Comes up with the interception at the 15-yard line. So once again, Wake Forest has stopped Clemson, and the Demon Deacons hanging tough at 16-7. That's our score with just about 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the half. We'll return for more second quarter action from the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl in just a moment. After that interception by Eddie Green of Wake Forest, the Deacons have it 1st and 10 at their 15. They've come up with several turnovers at the hands of Clemson in this first half, but have yet to do anything with them. However, here goes Dan Doherty. He's doing something with his first down carry. As on the delay up the middle, he gains 12, gets Wake Forest out of a little bit of a hole up to the 27 as we look at the skyline of Tokyo, Japan, one of the busiest cities in the whole world. It's 1st and 10 at the 27.
And one of the most expensive cities in the whole world.
That's what I understand. You've been over there? We won't go into that at this time. All right, 1st and 10 for Wake on their own 27-yard line. These guys don't have to worry about expenses, though, Paul. Mitsubishi's paying for the whole freight.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, your quarterback is Schofield, and he hands to the tailback in the I formation. Ramser, he fumbles it, but has the presence of mind to fall on it for a loss of 2 back at the 25, so it's still Wake Forest ball, but 2nd down and 12.
Chucky Richardson, number 56, is the man that hits him. Take a look at Ramser going. He's got that little hesitation in the line. Richardson hits the ball spins out. He doesn't know there's a fumble. And Ramser has presence of mind to get the ball back. Good play on both parts.
Oftentimes, what a quarterback will do after a back gets hit and fumbles like that is call his number again and try and build up his confidence again. Let's see if that happens to the freshman, Michael Ramser.
One thing Ramser's going to learn as he gets older and playing college football, that hesitation, he's going to stop that and just explode.
Well, here he explodes for a gain of only about 2. He had a good block from Doherty, but again, the excellent pursuit by that Clemson defense holds Ramser to a 2-yard gain.
Tyrone Davis and Terry Kennard from the secondary. A little pitch outside to Ramser. He's getting blocking from his fullback, and just watch it. Tyrone Davis comes up, he goes low. Number 56, Richardson, helping out on the play. Terry Kennard was also there.
So the Deacons are back where they started, Paul, on their own 27-yard line. 3rd down and 10. As they come out with a double flanker formation. The back's in the slot to the left. The give is to Ramser. Ramser along the right sideline, breaking tackles along the way, and he has the 1st down up to the 39-yard line. Good run that time, a twisting, turning run by Mike Ramser. Gain of 12 on the play.
Ramser lined up in a slot position. You're going to see him on the left of your screen come in right here, and he goes around the right side. Richardson, number 56, misses the tackle right there. In fact, there's 2 guys on the play that had a shot at him. They missed the tackle, and Ramser picks up 12 yards.
Up to the 39-yard line, that's right. It'll be 1st down and 10. Ramser seems to have a hot hand. 16 carries, 58 yards on the day. This time in the I formation. One man in motion, but you know who's going to get the ball. It's Ramser. He's got an opening up the middle, but it closes rather quickly. Give him a gain of about 4 yards, up to around the 43-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down and 6.
William Devan, number 94, is the man that made the tackle. Ramser carries the ball, what, 17 times now?
17 times, right?
Well, you figure a guy 176 pounds. You know, when I weighed 176 pounds, I never took a drink for 3 days at a time. Well, you don't get tired. You just don't carry that much weight.
I'm not going to touch that line. All right. Let's see if they give Ramser a bit of a rest here. They do. They give it to the up back, the fullback, Dan Doherty. Doherty A quick popping play up the middle for about 5 yards. That should be enough for the Wake Forest first down.
Well, Doherty carries the ball 15 yards, 10 yards, and now 5 yards. That big fullback, you know, when you weigh as much as Doherty weighs, 227 pounds, you're the big guy of the football. Let him ramble with it.
It'll be a 1st and 10 for Wake Forest up at its own 48-yard line. The give again is to Doherty, and Doherty plows for about 2 or 3 yards. We're nearing the end of the first half of play. It's 16-7 Clemson, but Wake Forest, I know, would like to get on the board with at least 3 here.
All right, we're going to see Schofield come back and give the ball to Doherty again. The big, powerful man, and that's Chucky Richardson again making the tackle. The young man is all over the place.
See what Gary Schofield comes up with this series.
No mistakes now. That's the thing that's been killing Wake Forest is mistakes. And you can't afford, as I said many times, you can't afford to make mistakes against a team like Clemson.
This is a team we have a timeout on the field, Paul. This is a team in Clemson now that knows it's going to be on probation for a couple of years. What do you think the mood of this team was coming in?
I think it's got to be a good mood. Tommy, you've got to prove to the nation that you still are a good football team, and it's not going to let them get to you. What was it? Oklahoma went through a probation period. They did well. But I guess the biggest problem is going to be recruiting, especially when they take those scholarships away from you. And you're not going to be on television. You're not going to be in the bowl games. Here is where you have to depend on your alumni to take care of the money situation.
Got a call on some of those fat wallets down there to help pick up the slack. All right. Schofield fumbling the snap from center, but it looks like he did retain possession on the first down play at the 49-yard line of Clemson, and he did. They're going to give him no gain, and we have timeout called by Wake Forest to stop the clock, so it'll be a 2nd down and 10 after that fumbled snap.
Now, again, that's what I say. You can't make mistakes against this team. You're on a drive. You're down 16-7 in the game. You're in pretty good field position. You just got to make sure that what you call is going to be run right, and everybody hears it in the huddle. Now, that time, again, you don't know whether it's the quarterback pulled out too soon or the center was a little late on the snap.
Well, it's something that should not happen with a veteran center quarterback combination. I'm sure Al Groh and his staff are pointing that out along the sidelines. The ball is just inside the 50-yard line. For accuracy's sake, we'll call it the Clemson 49. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And you got to figure with time running out now, we're inside a minute left to go in this first half, and trailing by 9 points, that Clemson, or rather that the Wake Forest should come up with some sort of passing play. There are Schofield's stats: 7 for 12 on the day, 111 yards, not bad. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
The one time 5 for 5. All right, here we go. He's throwing.
Schofield looking long down the right side. Is complete. Yes, he did have 1 foot in bounds. David Richmond, the split ahead, and he's out of bounds at the Clemson 10-yard line, and Wake Forest is threatening.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know whether he was in bounds or not. That chalk is out of bounds. And when you watched his left foot come down and hit the chalk line, the chalk went up in the air. Now, to me, that's out of bounds. Well, we'll give it to him. Wake Forest needs to score.
Yes, they do. 1st and goal. The ball is resting just inside the 10-yard line. Schofield had a hot hand on that last pass. He's going to go for it all on this alley-oop pass intended for McCummings in the end zone, and it falls incomplete.
Schofield that time just dropped the ball right over the defender's head. That's Reggie Pleasant, who's had his problems in this first half. He was throwing that ball to McCummings, and he dropped the ball in a great spot. All McCummings had to do was catch the football.
All right, Wake Forest with a golden opportunity here to come up with 6 and maybe not a touchdown, if not a touchdown, a field goal. 16-7 Clemson. Clemson's going to be coming on this play. Schofield back to pass. William Devane grabs his arm. The ball is fumbled. Clemson is covered. The fumble. Robinson comes up with it. Now the only question, Paul, was Schofield's arm going forward, and I don't believe it was.
No, it was not. James Robinson comes up with it. Look at that. Knocks the ball right out of his hand. He had it down by his hip. No question about it. It's Clemson's ball. They're just going to run the clock out here and win at halftime with a 16-7 lead.
Yes, just 1 tick left on the clock as Clemson takes over. 1st and 10. The ball is resting at about the 12-yard line. This field is natural turf field. Used to have AstroTurf here in Olympic Stadium in Tokyo. They've replaced it with natural turf, and Homer Jordan just falls on the ball, takes his loss, and that'll run out the clock. That's the end of the first half of play at the Mitsubishi Mirage Bowl. I'm Tom Mees with Paul McGuire, and our halftime score, Clemson University 16, Wake Forest Demon Deacon 7. It ought to be a heck of a second half, so don't go away. We'll be back in a moment.